recently heard a talk by Patrick Lencioni, and as soon as I heard it, I started repeating these essences to the people I knew, my clients and the people I was working with. So I thought I must record this and share it more broadly because I found it so true. Patrick Lencioni says that there's two motivations for becoming a leader. The one is a responsibility-based leadership style, and the other one is a reward-based leadership style. You're in it because there's some reason to be a leader, some reward that you're seeking after. Maybe it's access to bigger opportunities or prestige or something like that. But the responsibility-based leader is there to serve others. And what he mentioned was 5 indicators that you might not be a responsibility-based leader, things that you avoid. So here are the 5 so that you can do a checkpoint for yourself. The first is that reward-based leaders avoid having difficult conversations. And in all the work I'm doing with all the clients I meet, accountability and holding people accountable has got to be the number one thing that organizations are struggling with. The inability of leaders to hold people accountable and have tough conversations is something that might be associated with a reward-based leadership style, not a responsibility-based leadership style. And having difficult conversations is something that everybody doesn't enjoy. But those of us who really are leaders out of a sense of responsibility feel like we need to have difficult conversations and help people understand where they're missing our expectations or the expectations of the organization. The second one that he mentioned is that reward-based leaders avoid having one-on-ones with their direct employees. The further up in organizations we go, the more senior the executives, the more I have noticed a lack of one-on-one time and attention. And for some reason, senior leaders feel like their direct reports don't need their time and they should be self-governing and self-orientating. The flip on that is that they're avoiding having these one-on-ones and just checking in with their people. And there are a number of things that those one-on-ones should contain. The first is that senior leaders need to understand what their people are busy on and be able to recognize and give them feedback on their efforts, because feedback helps people know that they're noticed, that they're valued, that what they're doing is in line with the vision. The third thing is that reward-based leaders avoid meetings. Now, the cool thing he said about this, which I loved, is that how does your organization or your team know that you're a great leader? What evidence is there? What stage do you have that is a showcase for your leadership skills? And the reality is that most people spend an enormous amount of time in meetings. And so just like a tennis court is the stage for a great tennis player and a big stage is for a ballerina, the meeting is the stage for a great leader in today's corporate world. So if you don't do great meetings and run great meetings and hold great meetings, then where is your stage? How will people see you? How will they know that you're a great leader? So avoiding meetings, delegating meetings, being late for meetings, being disorganized for meetings, having no record of meetings, having no purpose in meetings, having badly run meetings is evidence of a lack of responsibility-based leadership. So it's a great pivot point. How are you managing your meetings? How organized? How outcomes orientated? What kind of format are you taking? Are you on show in your meetings, or are you battling to show up for your meetings? The fourth element was team building. Now, this is not a lack of rah-rah, let's go play miniature golf together. This is, are you willing to dig into the process that your team takes and how they work together? This is not what they do, but how they work. And great leaders dig into that, and they go in and ask questions and look for ways we could be better and look at the relationship between people, how they do their work, not just what they do. The fifth and final thing was great leaders who are responsibility-based leaders. They lead out of a sense of service, don't mind repeating themselves. And I love this because we often want to say things once and assume that the message is carried through and I have communicated, so tick, done. But it's not like that. If you are a great leader, you are willing to repeat the same message over and over again so that everybody is crystal clear about the vision, about why you're doing this, about what our key goals are, what the strategic objectives are, and to keep that drumbeat going over and over. And it might be boring, and it might not light your fires, and it might not be bright and shiny and new, because it's not. But great leaders are willing to sacrifice bright, shiny, new for repeating something that they really believe is the right thing for their organization, to make sure everybody hears it and everybody's on board. So I wanted to share those 5 elements of responsibility-based leadership because it's a nice checklist and a reminder for all of us who are leading teams and leading others to think, am I doing this act of leadership out of service to the people I lead? Am I doing it because it's a responsibility I hold, and I hold it? I hold that responsibility heavily. I'm not doing it because I'm going to get applauded for it and a new crown and a shiny new promotion. I'm doing this because it is a responsibility and I'm the one carrying it. Or are you motivated to lead others for a sense of reward?